Quilley's mother, Hilda, was the third child of 8, born to James Marshall Stockhill and Henrietta Whitehead, and had had an unsuccessful marriage with Cyril Willings. World War II broke out in September 1939, with Britain declaring war in Germany. Apart from fighting all over the world, the Germans and the British were bombing each other's cities. Blackpool, Lancashire, once a seaside town of laughter and brass bands, now carried the weight of ration books, blackout curtains, and distant thunder of bombs. It was here, amid the uncertainty of 1943, that Leonard Quilley, a man in uniform, crossed paths with Hilda Willings, née Stockhill, a housekeeper. She worked and lived between two addresses on Goldsboro Avenue. Her days were filled with dusting and scrubbing and the endless rhythm of wartime survival. He was stationed nearby, his life dedicated by orders and the looming specter of battle. At the height of the war, they conceived a child. The 13th December 1944, in a modest home on Whitehead's Drive, a baby girl was born, Sandra Merryn Willings. Blue-eyed brown hair, blood carried the quiet resilience of her mother and the unspoken legacy of her father. It was evident, for societal reasons, that marriage was not on the horizon. So Hilda and Sandra moved to Farsley, Yorkshire, to stay with her parents who had moved from 4 Donald Street to 10 Black Lane. The birth certificate signed on the 11th of January 1945 bore no mention of Leonard Quilley. Sandra entered the world a child of love but also of silence. In post-war Britain, where propriety was a fortress and whispers carried sharp edges, being born out of wedlock was a shadow that followed her through her youth. But in the fragile winter of 1944, none of this mattered, for Hilda, holding her daughter in the dim light of blackout lamps, there was only love. For Leonard, though absent from the record, there was an unspoken truth of a bond forged in war, which he left behind to work in his father's jewellery business in London after the war. And for Sandra, who never set eyes on her father, her first challenge, the child of shadows, a beginning carved from chaos, destined to carry both the ache of secrecy and the strength of survival.